That's yours? Yeah, I can take these off.
It's grown in a laboratory dish.
It does have protections in it, I'm
Mr.
sorry.
Chairman,
No, I thank you for
I'm
calling.
wanting to add
Yeah, I
this
just
to
couldn't
that bill.
get out right then to do
I
that.
know, and,
That's fine with me.
Actually, send a copy of it to
wanted to give you a heads up.
and then call the doctor and Philip Walker.
Bad, huh?
Y'all, thank you for showing up. We got a quorum. If you have not got a steak biscuit over in 230, that's your own fault. But they are good, and they not made out of packed up grass like some of them Impossible Burgers are. They are. They actually made out of grass, but they in a different process than them kind that's pushed together. So anyway, we'll be through in time for y'all to go get you some and some milk from Mountain Fresh Creamery. So Clay, would you say a blessing over this thing, please, sir?
Bow with me. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, I do thank you for this wonderful day. Lord, I thank you for the sunshine, the rain that you provide. Lord, I thank you for this great state, and Lord, for the farmers that are in it. And Lord, as we look at issues relating to agriculture in this committee, grant us wisdom. Lord, as the farmers are beginning to prepare their soil to plant, I pray that you'll grant them safety. And Lord, I pray that everything we do here today will honor and glorify you. Amen.
Thank you, sir. In a concerted effort by the House Agriculture Committee to extend the olive branch to the Senate, in hopes that they would hurry up and pass right to farm, we're going to do a couple of Senate bills today. Senator Walker, thank you for getting up and coming. And I don't know where you. Well, I don't know where your counterpart, the ag chairman over there is. He's got a bill, but anyway, we appreciate you getting here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And we are strategizing on getting that right to farm bill passed. I'm confident we'll be able to do that before the end of the session. I am presenting Senate Bill 396, and it's LC 345625. And we had a lot of fun with this bill in the Senate, but it is, there's a serious issue, a serious side to it too. As you probably know, Georgia has an official vegetable, which is the Vidalia onion, official crop, which is the peanut, official fruit, which is the peach. But believe it or not, we do not have a officially designated state nut. And of course, we could make a lot of jokes surrounding that, but I think it's the Georgia Pecan Growers Association approached me about designating the Georgia pecan or pecan as the official state nut, and I thought it was appropriate that we do that in light of the struggles the pecan growers are having and have had with Hurricane Michael, other hurricanes prior to that, and then the commodity prices, et cetera. So thought this was a good way to give them an opportunity to promote the delicious Georgia pecan and get a little effort or different effort behind their marketing of the product. Since the 50s, the Georgia pecans, Georgia has led the nation in pecan production generally most every year. Since Hurricane Michael, we have fallen back to the number 2 state for pecan production. New Mexico surpasses us. We hope to regain the number 1 spot. But as most of you probably know, the pecan is very tasty. Of course, it's got a lot of nutritional properties too, but it's actually the preferred nut for the China market, and so that's been a real boom to the pecan growers. I was asked on the Senate floor whether you pronounce it pecan or pecan. I've got a couple little jokes about that. One of them's a little bit off color, so I won't say it. But my answer was that at $1.70 a pound, it's a pecan, and at $3, it's a pecan. So I hope it gets back to $3. But I ask you to support me on this and support our Georgia pecan growers. I did check with the Georgia Peanut Commission to be sure before I even embarked on this endeavor to be sure they didn't take offense to it. And of course, a peanut is a legume, and evidently maybe a pecan is a drupe, whatever the heck that is. I've never heard of it, but anyway. The Peanut Commission I talked to Don, and he said they're fully supportive of this. Be happy to answer any questions.
Thanks, Senator. I didn't know if you said it Drupe or Droop. I knew it was DRUPE, but I didn't know how you said it.
Well, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Yeah.
Number 27.
Thank you, Senator. I was just wondering, I'll draw your attention to line 33 on the bill. I was wondering if you would be amenable to changing the word pecan to Senate Rules Chairman on that particular line.
I'll leave that up to the wisdom of the committee.
19. Is that you, Clay?
Yes, sir, it is. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Boy, that seems loud. I'll back away just a shade. So I am a pecan producer, and I use the correct nomenclature for that because through the hurricane last year, I could harvest my entire crop and put them in my front riches. It's awful. I know our pecan producers are taking it on the chin. But the other day I was in Chairman Tom McCall's office, and he had these red little packets sitting in a bowl that appears to be peanuts salted for visitors to partake of. Senator, I got to tell you, I have never seen one of those packs with pecans in them at this Capitol. Are you aware of any such provisions?
Yes, sir. Up until introducing this bill, I hadn't seen any either. But we did get a supply of them, of the small little 1 ounce pecans.
Now, if I may, with a follow-up. So I have provided some pecans that I roasted and salted and provided to some of our members. I apologize for those that didn't get them. Who on this panel got some? Oh, there we go. One of my friends on the end there.
Wow.
I'm just saying. Now I've only got one, so while there again, one final. This is a bit of levity, and one final, Mr. Chairman, if I may. Well, I should have made that crack after I was going to offer the next that I was looking at. So I know that the peanut is a legume, and you know that the peanut is a legume. But the vast majority of people in this great state are not aware that the peanut is a legume. I wanted to see if on line 33, since it's already been referenced before, if we could change the pecan is designated as the official Georgia state and after state tree nut.
I don't think that's necessary, but you certainly, it's not up to me, but I don't see that as being necessary. Again, I contacted the Peanut Commission. They support the bill as written. I don't see that as necessary.
I have a couple of legume, what you call that, Mr. Chairman? Drupe producers. They're droopies this time. And I wouldn't mind having some feedback from the committee regarding the pecan designated as a state tree nut.
Mr. Chairman, speaking of your first point, you all will get a pack of the 1 ounce pecans. They tell me those cost 70 cents, and the peanuts that we get cost 7 cents per pack. That's part of one of the challenges, but certainly wish I had brought some this morning.
70 cents for a 1 ounce pack of
That's
pecans?
what she told me.
I have been selling mine at the wrong place. Representative Turner, you have to disclose me on your campaign contribution now. Okay.
Will you mind waiting a minute? We got several questions that may
Yes, sir. I will.
answer your question. 26, is that you, Mr. Don?
Pecan grower.
Can you let me get these couple of questions here?
I can.
22.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good bill, Senator. As a fellow pecan grower and peach grower, we should be trying to promote all Georgia-grown products throughout the state. And if Representative Perkles' pecan's been in his pocket since last fall, I'm not sure I'm gonna want those, but pecans. We do have a large industry in the state of that grow the nursery trees. That huge investment in irrigation and land and processing pecans. We've got a great industry, and as you said, we've opened up foreign markets for our Georgia pecans, and we certainly do. It's a great bill to be able to promote that and tout that in whatever way we can use it. So thank you for bringing this.
Yes, sir.
Dominic, or are you talking about making a pecan flavored smoothie or something?
No, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know, we heard it called a pecan. Then the chairman said Drupe, and then Representative Perkle uses the word nomenclature. For a minute, I thought I was in the wrong committee altogether. But one of my main questions was going to be, Representative Perkle and I talked about this just a few minutes, and I know that the chairman mentioned the Right to Farm Act. I won't leave here this session without seeing some action on that. But if the Peanut Commission's all right with this bill, I got the world's largest peanut processing plant in my district.
I've been there.
I got 400 owner growers of that co-op. And if the Peanut Commission's all right with this, I'd be okay with leaving it like it is. Representative Perkle mentioned that most people don't realize that a peanut's a legume. Well, likewise, if you polled 1,000 people at this Capitol, they're not sure that it even grows under the ground. And I know that sounds odd to many of us on this committee, but I'm telling you, Chairman McCall brought a member down there 2 years ago. She stepped off in a peanut field. She said not only was it the first time she had ever stood in a field, Stovall from down here at Clayton, it's the first time she had ever seen a peanut plant growing like that with the peanuts turned up, you know, where you could see them. So we'll pass this bill as is, and within a year, nobody will still know what the state nut is. And so I would be okay with it being like it is, but I really hope you can help us on that right to farm. That one is killing me back home, and we got to get something done.
It's important to me, too.
Who left? Is that you, Mr. Joe? Oh,
Right here.
okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do have a little concern coming from probably the largest peanut producing county, or one of the largest in the state. I really would like to see it designated as a tree nut also. Again, most people in Georgia don't know that the peanut is a legume, so I would like that designation. I don't want to slight the peanut, and most most people think nuts are nuts. So I understand the commission's okay with it, but I do have concern that the average person doesn't know the difference, and we're picking one over the other. So a tree nut sounds good to me, but I'll go along with what the committee wants. But it is very important. Peanuts are very important. Pecans are very important to my district. So I support both, but I would like that little designation there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Joe.
Well, I bought a few peanuts in my day, and I'm a little inclined toward the legumes, but I do like the tree nut offer that you made. But with the Georgia Peanut Commission being behind it, I'll certainly go with it. But we have a few peanuts in this state too, and that's all I say.
Do you think the public will know that peanuts don't grow on trees?
I will tell you, one of my buddies, the older ones from way back from up in Sandy Springs, used to worry about falling out of a tree picking peanuts. So I stayed on him about that. And his son now works for the governor, so that makes him nervous too. But all right, Clay.
Chairman, we've had some discussion on this. I would like to offer an amendment to add tree after state and before nut on line 33. I'm not sure I'll have a second, but I was wanting to make that, if that will be okay with the chairman.
You making that a motion?
Yes, sir, I am.
Yeah. All right, got a motion and a second to put tree in between state and nut on line 33. Is that right, Clay?
Yes, sir.
Any discussion about that? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. No. Y'all want a hand count?
Divide the question.
Huh?
I want to know who's going to give me the most hands if I go whichever.
That's right. I'm gonna say it passed from sitting up here listening, but, if y'all had rather have a hand count, I'd be more than happy.
Before you do a hand count, would you take one more comment?
Yes, sir. I got another light flashing too. What are you?
Number two. As long as we agree that what we're about to do is differentiate the pecan as a tree nut when the peanut is not a nut. We're doing this based on what people's perception of it is, not what it actually is and if someone else were to do that on a different issue, a Georgia Tech graduate would come unraveled.
All right, we got a little more to do today. Who's 23? Go ahead, Miss Darlene.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Would the senator consider bringing a bill recognizing the peanut as a state legume?
Well, it's already the state crop.
It's already the state
It's
crop.
already
Yes,
as a
ma'am.
crop?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then how are we going to get the public to know the difference?
The purpose of this bill really is to allow the Georgia Pecan Growers Association to further market their product and to increase sales and open up new markets. And it's just a tool for them to be able to market an important industry in our state. We could get into like that it's really maybe a Drupe. We could put all that in there. It's really just a marketing tool, in my opinion. So whatever the pleasure of the committee is, I don't think it's necessary. But.
All right, are y'all okay with thinking that Clay's amendment passed? All right. Does that mean you don't want to make your motion do pass, or?
I want to make it right now.
Oh, go ahead.
We already recognizing peanuts and.
Go ahead, Mr. Don. Who's 12? Go ahead, Don.
I just make a motion do pass as is, but you got an amendment.
We got to do the amendment, though. So you still want to make a do pass motion?
Makes everybody feel better. It sounds like the amendment will pass, but we can show hands just to make sure.
Actually, not, that's what I'm thinking a little bit, if you don't mind.
Uh-oh.
Well, which number are you, Scott?
27. The process in this building can get kind of hairy over these last 12 legislative days. And as I started thinking about it, I'm sympathetic to Representative Perkel's concerns, but I also know this place has a way of bogging down things. And so the process from this point forward would go from here to rules to our floor for a vote, and then have to go back over to the Senate for an agree. And if he's really passionate about it, he could this thing could end up in a conference committee, and I think it's important to the agriculture. I'm going to change my mind on this, so and support it as is.
Mr. Chairman, I move do pass as amended. You gonna do the amendment first? Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Being from South Georgia and a former peanut shaker as a kid, I can understand the reservation. But to save a designation for peanut that is not even a nut, the peanut can never be the state nut because it's a legume. So the next best nut we have in Southwest Georgia is the pecan. So I think it would behoove us as a state and give the senator the consideration that he asked for to help that industry. So while I was kind of with the amendment. I think now I'm flipping back and going back with the senator.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna do a hand count. Are you still making your motion?
Yes, sir.
Okay, got a motion, got a second, that we'll put tree in between State and Nut on line 33. All those in favor, raise your hand. Yeah, this is amendment. All opposed, do the same thing. Seven. 9 against, 7 for it. 9 against, 7 for it. Against the amendment. The amendment lost. The amendment lost. All right, now, Stephen, do you still want to make your motion? You want Don to do it?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to pass as presented by the senator.
Is there a second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. You got your bill, Mr. Walker. Who's a House person?
Representative Dickey.
Who, Rob?
Chairman Dickey.
So,
Chair-
Robert is?
Chairman Dickey, yes.
Okay,
sir.
okay.
Do you want me to present the other Chairman Wilkinson's bill?
Yeah, I don't know where the ag chairman is this morning, a congressman or something. He may be running for something, but
I think he's in Washington,
do you know
D.C.
the bill good enough?
I think so, if unless it's as hard as the pecan bill. But I need a copy of it. In fact, is it in here some? All right.
Look at 362.
I got it.
You be sure to tell Chairman Wilkinson how nice the House is to him when he can't make it. So,
Thank you. All right, Senate Bill 362, LC 441381. What this bill intends to do is address situations when you have cows or horses or other livestock get out and are straying, and the sheriff's department or the local government has to round them up, and they don't know who they belong to, and so they have to house these animals and feed them and look after them until they can either sell them or find the owner. And the current code only allows for $5 a day to impound, for the impound, and this is trying to just allow local government to at least get enough money to cover the cost of feeding and putting these animals up.
I think Chairman Wilkinson had some water buffaloes or something get out up there, and the sheriff was having to take care of them, and that's kind of the genesis of where this came from, I think.
I
Other
think
than
you're right.
$5 won't buy a bale of hay. So, anyway, you looking at me like you got something to say for the county on this.
I'll speak when it's time, so Mr. Chairman.
Has anybody got any questions for the senator on impound fees for critters that get out? Yes, ma'am. What's your number, Miss Darlene?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. How long will they keep an animal impounded? Is there anywhere else in the code? This bill doesn't say how long they'll keep them. Is there a time limit?
I'm not sure,
Okay,
Chair Lady.
thank you.
Some of you farmers may know.
25.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, I didn't realize we had such a problem with animals getting out like this, but no, I was just curious. I know on line 20 it says not to exceed $25 per day, but in some of these other lines, it doesn't mention, yeah, it's not capped. So I didn't know if, it just says actual cost. I mean, what is that actual cost?
I think 19 and 20 deals with the care and feeding of the animals, really primarily feeding them. I think the reason the other is not capped is if there were veterinarian fees associated with having to deal with these animals.
Okay. Well, just don't want, the county's getting possession of animals and incurring a lot of excessive costs and it not be capped. But that's up to the committee.
I think there was some question on the sale fee. They had to, and I keep referring back to Senator Wilkins' water buffalo issue. I think the county had to keep them up for a while, and then when they took and sold them, there was a sale fee, and I think they sold them at a stock barn somewhere. I'm not sure, but it was some questions on how much the sale fee was, and then water buffalo ain't the easiest thing. It ain't like a goat as far as transport and all. So I think that may be where some of it's coming in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
It looks like that, we're marking through what was in actual law, and it was a set number, and we're just saying actual cost, but yet we don't know what the actual cost is.
Right, and it's probably variable.
Yeah.
And I think, best I can remember on livestock run at large law, it goes back to if they can find whoever owned the animal is responsible for some of these fees. But then if a person that owned the animal don't want him, then I guess it's left up to the county or the sheriff's office or whoever's got him to dispose of him one way or the other. 15, who is 15?
Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead.
I want to echo Chairman Watson's reservations on passing anything that's actual cost with no limit. And I have reservations about passing the bill just on one specific issue that happened in the state. I don't think any of us have heard this throughout our rural counties, that this has been an issue. And so passing the bill just because some water buffaloes got impounded by Habersham County or whichever, I don't know the good thought in doing that, Mr. Chairman.
And I think it's more than Habersham. I think there's a big problem down in Warren County with some people that own property down there. And then there's another issue in another county, I think, and I can't remember. And the only reason I know this is I've got calls from those representatives about what to do about animals getting out, and nobody can get them up, or the owner don't want to deal with them, or they keep getting out and keep getting out. And that's the only reason I know about the ones, because the reps have called me thinking that I'm supposed to know what the law is.
Yeah. Well, I think the law is pretty clear what to do right now. I think, but putting it as a, actual cost puts it in a, what's the cost to me, to someone else, is just into a county. They're not going to be behooved to find the least cost, most efficient person. They're just going to do something. And to pass the cost along.
What I'm trying to say, it ain't a one-time deal like the water buffalo. It's an issue in a lot of places. I didn't know Clay Perkle was at a rodeo when his cows was out, but at least he got them up. So anyway, these are problem animals that stay out is what we're trying to address. Who's 29?
Right here, Mr. Chairman. I wanted to ditto pretty much what y'all are saying. To me, I really think sometimes here we get the horse before the cart by one person having a problem, and in due respect, I think you just said there's several, but I've not heard anything pretty much about this being a problem. We already have it set to fix the problem, so I think that I would have to be against it just for one person bringing it forward thinking we're going to change the whole state of Georgia. So I wanted to kind of go with Chairman Jaspers and Watson on that mindset and leave it like it is.
All right. 22.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I don't know, and then I was sitting here thinking, I've had this issue on my property. I got a neighbor who just cows stayed out on my property all the time. So I don't know who charges the fees, whether it's law enforcement here in this bill that would get the fees or charge the fees or whatever. But we got some other laws that I'd call the sheriff all the time, and they'd come and we'd run them back. And I mean, it's a problem when you have a neighbor that won't keep the livestock up. So I'm just really curious about at what point do you charge the fees, and who's charged and who collects and that sort of thing. So I've just got some questions about this bill too, really. Senator, are you clear about?
If you can identify the owner, I think the owner would have to pay the fees if they're returned to the owner. I think if you never can identify the owner, then the fees are taken out of the proceeds from the sale of the animals, would be my understanding. So I think it's the county or the...
So another private landowner you think could impound these and charge these fees, or it has to go through law enforcement?
If you call the sheriff to get the cows off your property, or the horses or the water buffalo, and they have to spend resources and money doing it, the owner would be responsible for these fees if they could ever, if they know who the owner is. Todd may can answer some of these questions.
No, I do not.
Maybe the chairman ought to come present it. I'm not doing a very good job. I don't want to kill his bill.
You fine.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was just going to say that it's been my experience that the owner is a lot easier to find if it's not been hit by a car. It's as long as it's they're a lot harder to locate afterwards. I think that's what. It's not mine. We enjoyed that good steak biscuit today. Thank you to the cattlemen's, and thank you for being here. My experience in feeding cows is about $300 a year is what my annual expense that I allocate for cow feed is. But even if that was doubled to $600, my only concern here is $25 a day. So that would include that would probably include a vet fee too, wouldn't it? So that does scare me a little bit, yeah. Mr. Chairman, it was just a comment. It was not directed to you, I suppose, Mr. Senator. So
I'll tell you what, I got 3 lights flashing, and then Todd may can add a little. You don't want to? 27.
That is me. Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee.
Good morning.
I was listening. I'm so glad for technology. I was able to listen and on at the meeting. But that was going to be, basically, I was just going to offer a comment and a question. As Chairman Dickey stated, I support this legislation, but I am concerned too with what happens when, because I'm aware of a situation in Taylor County when the landowner did not claim the cattle, and constituent actually hit the cow, but and it got to be an issue with the local sheriff department. So the sheriff department turns it over to the Georgia State Patrol. And so now it's a legal battle right now with that situation. But my question was to ACCG. I was just curious to know if they had any position on this legislation, or have they been talking to local governments about it?
ACCG supports the legislation.
Thank you.
All right, 17. Rick, is that you? Who's 17? Okay, Matthew.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Let's hear how Cal
thank
Roman
you.
and Brooke.
Right, exactly. At the risk of being impounded myself, Mr. Chairman, I just want to say I appreciate all my colleagues speaking up for local control this morning.
Oh, Lord. 25.
I just another follow up, Mr. Chairman. I mean, my cows were out Saturday, and if somebody would have called, would this apply to me? Would I be incurring? Could the public call and say, "Hey, your cows are out"? And I'm in Atlanta, and they don't get anybody, and am I going to be hit with any fees relating to this issue? Or
I don't know the answer.
If they don't get a hold of me, and next thing you know, law enforcement's out there, and
I guess you
somebody with a cow trailer, and they just weren't patient enough for me to get back in touch with them because I was in the ag committee.
Maybe.
I just asking.
We wasn't aiming on this ag committee meeting taking so long you can't get your cows up, Clay.
Mr. Chairman, with the discussion we've had and with the chairman not here, if it'd be okay with you, I'm going to offer that we table this bill for right now. So so my friend Chairman Wilkinson can have adequate time to address the concerns we have and not put you on the spot.
Thank you.
I think that's a pretty good idea. And it's a Senate bill, and we got time, and we were just trying to show them some love from the House. So got a motion to table until the chairman can get back and explain it, and I got a second. Is it all in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Senator, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you all very much.
We got one more quick little resolution. You want to handle it, or you want Winfred to? I thought you were going somewhere. Sir? Yes, sir. That'll be good. Whichever one y'all want to do it, it don't matter.
Chairman, who you think got the best chance of passing it, him or me?
I don't know.
I'll sit down then. Rick said Duke, so I sit down.
Push your button, Winfred. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. This is really quite a simple resolution. And basically what we're trying to do is to see if we can establish, if we're going to urge the president to see through the Food and Drug Administration to see if we can have official limits to be established for CBD products. Right now, in our hemp legislation, it is 0.3. And what we would like to do is to urge them to see if they can get the Food and Drug Administration to get behind that. And along with that, to identify the daily consumption of cannabis related products that you can that you can have. It is an urgent resolution, and we would certainly appreciate your consideration in this passage.
John, is that you?
Thank you for the resolution. It's not true in our present hemp bill. It prohibits the use of any food products that's not approved by the FDA at present in our hemp legislation until FDA approves it.
Yes.
All right, I don't see any more questions. Basically what this will do, so you hadn't got 50 different regulations on CBD products over the United States.
Right.
Urging FDA to do what they need to do.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's all it does. We just want to see if we can put some uniformity to it.
That'd be a good time, Dominic. Got a motion due pass in a second. All in favor say aye. All opposed, no. He did okay, Vernon.
I gotta go put my cow back in.
Has Gary Black, I saw him out there. All right, I was gonna get him to bring us up to date on block grant, but anyway, we'll do it next time. Thank you all for coming. Go eat a biscuit.
Thank you.